Hello, my name is Connor, and for my video presentation this week, I'm going to be talking about the space race. The space race was a competition between the United States and the Soviet Union that began after World War II and lasted through the 1950s and 1960s. One of the key drivers of the space race was the desire for military and technological superiority. The Cold War was in full swing, and both the United States and the Soviet Union were eager to demonstrate their military capabilities. Space technology was seen as a crucial part of military strategy, as satellites could be used for reconnaissance and communication. The United States and the Soviet Union were also engaged in a nuclear arms race, and space technology was seen as a way to gain an advantage in that race. Another important factor in the space race was the desire to explore space and expand human knowledge. The scientific community was eager to study the effects of space travel on the human body and conduct experiments in zero gravity. The Apollo program was also seen as a way to learn about the moon and its origins. The United States and the Soviet Union both saw space exploration as a way to demonstrate their scientific and technological powers. The space race began with the launch of the first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, by the Soviet Union on October 4, 1957. The launch of Sputnik 1 shocked the United States, which had previously believed that it was leading the world in science and technology. The launch of Sputnik 1 also sparked fears in the United States that the Soviet Union would be able to use satellites to spy on American military installations. In response to the launch of Sputnik 1, the United States began to invest heavily in space exploration and technology. The United States launched its first satellite, Explorer 1, on January 31, 1958, and the space race continued with a series of high-profile achievements, including the first human in space, Yuri Gagarin, of the Soviet Union, and the first American in space, Alan Shepard, and the first spacewalk by the Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov. The space race reached its peak with the Apollo program, which aimed to land humans on the moon. The Apollo program was launched in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy, who declared that the United States would land a man on the moon by the end of the decade. The Apollo program was a massive effort involving tens of thousands of scientists and engineers and technicians. The first manned Apollo mission, Apollo 7, was launched in 1968. The following year, Apollo 8 became the first manned spacecraft to orbit the moon. And then, on July 20, 1969, the United States achieved the goal of landing a man on the moon when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin stepped on the lunar surface. The space race had a profound impact on the United States and the world. It demonstrated the power of technology and the ability of humans to achieve great things. The space race also spurred advances in science and technology that continue to benefit humanity today. However, the space race was also fueled by the Cold War tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union, and the enormous sums of money spent on each space exploration could have been used to address pressing social and economic problems. The space race also had a darker side, as both the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in espionage and sabotage to gain an advantage in the competition. Thank you.